I don't feel emotionally safe, and I emotionally feel out of control within myself, but I don't feel safe in this space. Like no one can help me disrupt this emotion, and no one can help me transmute this emotion. Like or I don't have the words to say how I'm feeling, so I have to crash out. Because physically I'm capable of crashing out, but emotionally or using my
Yeah.
words, I can't communicate. So
Mhm. Mhm.
picking my battles. This is the only arsenal I have to deal with the situation.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to Let's Talk Sis. I'm Shekinah, your host, and as we spend time together, I can promise you three things. I'll be honest, I'll make you laugh, and I won't hold back. Let's Talk Sis is your essential girl talk destination where you'll hear about life from the perspective of a black woman in America, as our stories often go untold. I can assure you, while honest, we are a community for growth and love. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Now sit back, relax, and let's talk, sis. Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Sis. As always, I am so excited to be here in the building, and I'm excited that y'all decided to join me and my guests. This week, we got a new first timer to the podcast, and it's crazy because I've literally known her for like ever. So, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Welcome, Darmecia Lofton. Hey, girl.
Hey,
How are you? What's going on?
I'm swell. It's not sunny today in Dallas, so that's tea. But the rain is a vibe. So
Yeah.
not for productivity, but it's a vibe.
Is it usually rainy there around this time of year? Or is it just hot?
Spring does spring. It is rainy, so like it's kind of typical. And it's
Hmm.
been decent weather, so I really can't complain because I've had sunshine and nice weather. But
Yeah,
you
nice. Are you doing anything fun this weekend?
5K on
Oh yeah.
Saturday. And Friday I have a prom client, so watching her, stalking her after the 5K on Saturday.
Period. Okay, love that for you, girls. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna ask you an icebreaker question before we get into it. And I did not think of one ahead of time like I normally do, so I'm gonna have to try and think of something on the spot. And that is, what is your biggest pet peeve? Are you on dating apps?
I am on two dating apps. I only check one. And
What is your biggest pet peeve? Like, what's annoying?
oh, I hate when I go to the people's profiles and it's of them and their grandmother, or like
What?
or they're like 50 kids, or I don't know. It just be like, why is your deceased granny on your profile pic? You're here for dating.
Mm.
You're still working through some shit, obviously,
You
because you're
don't
putting
find that sexy?
rest in peace, granny. No.
Maybe they feel like it shows their emotional side. Does that happen often? I mean, often enough
It,
that you
it's
bringing it up?
it's
That's
pretty
wild.
frequently. Yeah, like why is rest in peace? Like they're like, oh yeah, my granny died. But so that's your profile picture for your dating application. I can understand maybe on your main profile, but this is for dating.
Yeah.
I'm coming
Yeah.
here using this profile as a resource into if you're gonna be somebody I can communicate and politic with, and it's a no because you're grieving. No,
Yikes. She said get past all five of them stages, then maybe we can talk.
yeah.
Okay, so what's the most attractive thing when you go on a profile? You like, oh, yep, he can get my number. Or I
Mm.
swipe, check yes on him. Obviously, besides looks. I mean, they got, if they fine, but
I do like it's so misleading because they just be
yeah,
lying.
they do. They
But
do.
that's why I'm just like, I don't know. They make you feel like they can communicate and that they're open to communication, that they know what communication is, that they know how to talk, they know how to form sentences, that they know how to start conversations. But most of the time, it's just they want you to talk to them and then they want to respond. And that's
Yeah.
crazy because I can't carry the conversation because you want me to carry this
You
relationship and
know,
I can't.
somebody told me that I do that once when I was in the streets. They were like, "You just respond to conversation." And I didn't notice that I was doing that. Like, which is true and it is definitely me. Like, I'm not starting this up.
That is so crazy because in your friendship, that's not how you operate.
It's not, but with a man, I don't even want to really talk to you for real. So,
There go you and your emotions and your feelings. Your day was fine. I know it was.
you're gonna say the same thing. So what do you want to talk about? You tell me, right?
Yeah,
Because
what's
I want
up?
to get deep, and you don't want to get deep. So
They can't. Their capacity isn't there.
yeah, so how it's funny how you say social media like it's all fake because I literally just watched a TikTok. It was like a minute and a half, but the intro she was like, "I gave my daughter at 16. I got pregnant. I gave my daughter up for adoption, and her parents are now dead. And now I adopted her, and she doesn't know I'm her mom, and she thinks I'm her sister, and da 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 da." Like she went on this whole thing, and at the end, she was like, "Girl, I'm lying. These my kids. I'm just going to show you that social media is fake." And she really had me hooked. I was sick. Her normal followers were like, "Girl, you play too much," because they already obviously know
Oh.
they're her kids. I had no idea. I was taken aback. So
There's a
yes.
lady on a Florida influencer. She has a lot of children. And I just be wondering about her. Like you post the chaos and you like is it bait? Like is that how you're getting views or like is this your real life
How
is
many
chaos?
kids?
I don't know. I don't even count. It's just a lot, like a
Yeah, it's
litter.
probably real. I mean, two
I mean,
kids
I
is
know those
chaos.
are her kids, but just like the way
Mm,
she goes about posting and
mm,
she posts family trips and she posts like the
I,
father, which I believe is her husband,
mm,
the father of all the kids and them going on trips and stuff and like, functioning as a family, but then she be posting a whole bunch of drama. He's cheating, the baby mama done the another girl done text me. She was driving like just a whole bunch of just so I don't know if it's real or if it's bait. Like, do you
like
need
why? Yeah, and
well,
why
I'm
play
just
like that?
like, I don't know, but social media, like people are following and watching either way. So
Mm.
clearly got a lot of mouths to feed. So you know what I'm saying?
Get it how you live, friend, right?
Can't say boo tomato tomato, but
Speaking
like,
of trash relationships, have you seen that clip that's going around from the Dear Future Wifey podcast? And old girl talking about how her husband did her like a dog, walked her like a dog, treated her like a dog. You ain't
no,
seen it?
no, but they're married and she stayed.
Okay, this wasn't even on the docket for today, but we're gonna talk about it because we here. So, Dear Future Wifey podcast, I probably could look it up and find the clip. Which you know what? I think I'm gonna do that. Edit
You
this
know
out a
what?
little
Because let's talk, sis.
because
We're
let's
here.
get into it.
Let's
You
talk.
know, if I'm gonna talk about it, let me give you the official reference. And it's just crazy because it's just like, what the
You
hell?
know
What
that
the hell?
like, if I think real hard, I can think of his name, but his wife is Fats.
Who did what?
His wife is Fats. He's a rapper, and his wife be rapping with him. She got
Oh,
blonde hair.
Toby.
Toby. They did an interview, and he was like, basically, like, I like her. We got married because she stayed down. She stayed around. She
Yeah.
stayed available. She stayed
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
at all. I kept her because she was the only one that endured all the stress I would put her through. Therefore, I deemed her worthy of eventually being with me. And
Bitch, you
that
got me
was
fucked up.
so crazy, but you know what?
It's like
It could just be my perception and how I'm hearing it. It might not be how it felt when she lived through it.
I don't think it's your perception of how you're hearing it. I think it's how he's framing it. Because there's something to like
I think
you
that's
can't
how it
say it's
was.
because she like you can't you just you need to have wanted her to be your wife before the stick around itness of
Yeah,
it
that's
all.
what he's saying. That's why,
Like
like when they was just in there talking or boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever they were doing stages, she just like never went around. She was always there. She was always available. Like she stayed down. Like when he needed her, when he needed whatever he was needing, she was there to help him, and he deemed that uh, like credible. He loved that. He ate that. That ate for him. He said she ain't got nothing else going on but me.
damn. Not because she's smart, ambitious, beautiful,
You know
enterprising,
what I'm saying? The way her
loving.
brain works, she can propel growth within me. You know what
It's
I'm saying?
because she's available.
She's available. She got time, and the energy she has is for me. Whatever I need, she could cook the
Period.
meal. She could do my paperwork. She's good at
Right.
taking things off. She's
Okay, let me play this and let me see what you think.
When I met him, he told me, you're my starter, but I got other ones on the bench, And what else would you tell me, baby?
That you my point guard.
Yes,
You
and that
lead the
you love
team.
me.
But I like them.
Right. So I was in a relationship I was okay with that as long as I was 1st. And there's a reason for that. I want, the women to know out there, I didn't know Jesus. I didn't, know who I was. Would you say, babe, I had no value?
No, you had no value. You had no worth. You did not know who you were.
He said you didn't know your self-worth.
Right.
Right.
And I'm 17.
Yeah, of
so
course.
I'm a teenager, and I was preconditioned to think this way because my mother divorced my father for infidelity, and I'd always thought if you could just forgive him, our family would stay together.
Oh, that's deep.
So that was not a deal breaker for me, as
That's
long as
deep.
I knew about it. Now he knows if I found out about it, we'd have a problem.
That's deep. Wow, that's
so many
deep.
things to unpack there.
So
So many.
much.
How much time do you have?
Let's talk, sis.
One, the call's coming from inside the house. She was trained up in the way she wanted to go. She never broke that cycle, that trauma. Because no.
Hell no. I don't
No.
need to know. You just if you want to do it,
It
I don't
didn't
need
work
to
for
know.
y'all. I don't
You
want to
can go ahead.
participate. It's that one. 2, he was right, and he ate when he said she didn't have any no worth because she didn't have no self-worth. The
Yes.
value is whatever you place upon it.
Yes.
If you're valuing it at 0, it's sitting at 0.
Yes.
If you tell me this art is worth 10 million, and I'm like, no, but somebody with 10 million, like, give me that. It's clearly worth 10 million. You just don't got the 10 million.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
he
conflicted.
said that but to know that about a female and still pursue something with her, I would say it's inappropriate on your behalf because you see her capacity and you see your understanding of that capacity, and at that point it's manipulation because
Absolutely.
she's at 0 and you're valuing her at 0. So why would you have her?
Absolutely. And that's only part of the clip. There was another clip where it says that he would call her out of her name. He would come home to tell. Now she didn't put a time on it, but they met when they were teenagers. Just giving context. But he would come home, call her out her name, say he hate her, he don't want to be with her, and she would in return, because she was, in her words, graced by God. She would come against that with prayer. She would pray, you will love me, you will respect me, you will whatever.
She was trying to go. The thing is, what is that Bible story when that man was on the boat and it was raining and he was in the middle of the sea and he was like, God help me. And then, people was coming, boats was coming. I think a whale came, like people was coming to help him. He was like, no, I'm waiting on God, I'm waiting on God, I'm waiting on God. When God be sending you ways out, you know what I'm saying? If he's sending you the messages, like the bro told you, I don't love you, I don't want you. You're here of your own accord. You know what I'm saying? You're a volunteer.
Okay.
Volunteers don't get paid. There's no perks.
Yeah. I just have a problem with don't put that on my God. Okay.
Yeah, don't.
And she was helping him to get ready for his side chicks. So her words, exact. She would iron his clothes, knowing he about to go do a little something. And it's the fact that her now, okay.
And he's her husband now.
He's her husband now, sitting up on this couch next to her, cackling with another man about the disrespect, about the ill intent, the misplaced morals and values he had in his relationship with his current wife. It's one thing to say, okay, 10 years ago, that's who he was, that's how he acted. Fast forward, now we learn, we've grown, we do better. You need to show some remorse, my guy, and having these Don't you dare me look at you and say, what was it? What was it you used to say? Oh, yeah, she ain't had no self-esteem, that stupid mother. Don't you dare cackle at me about that with another man on the camera. That is so that's like the PTSD. Like you're
Mhm.
that's crazy to me. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like tell your story, tell your testimony. People come through things. If you was graced by God to do that, cool. But you're not gonna get up here and
But her lack of boundaries, her lack of boundaries gives him the audacity to step. And
clearly,
when in Rome, Rome. You know what I'm
and
saying?
he is roaming.
It's his space. You know what I'm
Yeah, he can do whatever he want to do
treat her
now.
like that because it's okay. It's allowed. She only
Right.
a well of herself. She's accomplished at this point in her mental, you know what I'm saying? Because
And they're pastors of a church.
she's pre
Oh, I didn't say that.
don't be helping other people like that.
They're pastors of a church. These lights make my teeth look yellow.
Not on this side.
Mm, okay. Anywho, yeah, no, they're pastors of a church. And yeah, could you attend their church? Could you go to their church, you think?
No.
Could you be a member in the congregation?
I cannot be led because my leadership is still in need of great leading.
Anyway, child. Speaking of
Yeah.
leadership, let's get back
Speaking of leadership.
let's get back to you. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you described your brand as one that is leading with love and light as a personal mission. How did you come to define that as your brand, as your mission?
Just as a person, I like to just not involve myself with things that are beyond my capacity. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So like if it's beyond my capacity to give you grace, if it's beyond my capacity to speak well to you, if it's beyond my capacity to treat you well and be respectful to you, you know what I'm saying? Then I won't because I believe give love, give light, or give nothing. Because why would you leave somebody in a worse place than where you started with them? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Such a disservice to humanity. So, anyways, um, that's my capacity. You know what I'm saying? I can treat you well, and if for some reason that I'm unable to treat you well or speak to you well, then I won't be doing anything with you.
Mm-hmm. That's so mature of you. Like, because a lot of times you can feel like, no, you finna get this talking to, cursing out,
I used to be like
whatever,
that. I used to
these
give me.
words,
That's what I'm saying. I put my share. I put my more than 2 cents out in the world.
Okay, but
People.
how did you get so mature? Like, what had happened? Like, what makes one say, you know what, I'm gonna leave
Okay.
that with you?
So the core of me truly believes that everybody is supposed to get things out of your human experience, out of your
Mm,
life's journey. You're supposed to pick up lessons. You're supposed to become aware of things. You're supposed to have growth of some magnitude by the end of your life. I have always, since the point of me realizing that I don't currently have any regrets, I've just chosen to let's make it to the end of my life with no regrets. How do you do that? You move within
mm,
your capacity in that alone. And if you can't do well to somebody, let's not do harm or do anything to somebody. So, as my life journey, I need to die with no to zero regrets.
mm-hmm.
So that is my way of maneuvering to that goal. Like
Yeah.
I can't regret treating you well if I didn't treat it. If I just
If I
operated,
only treated you good, yeah.
yeah, if I operated within my capacity, and I don't have I do not have capacity for drama and negativity because it just doesn't. I don't have the energy for it. I have so many things going on. You know what I'm saying?
Learning
I
that
can't dwell in that
concept.
space and that I can't learn from that space. And I feel like I've already learned the lessons that I need to learn to not have to navigate in that space.
Don't have
So,
to be there.
we're leading with love and light or
Come on,
nothing.
girl. T. And learning that this idea that you're speaking about of capacity is one that 20 something, teen something year old me had. I mean, I'm 29 still, but you know, no concept of like you would get in situations and you just find yourself dealing in the situation because you in the
Yeah.
situation and not ever realizing, hold on, I don't have to deal with this because
Yeah.
this is not my capacity is full. And in
Yes.
order for me to function properly in other areas of my life, I can only take about this much of
Yes.
this situation, right? And you have to learn yourself to know maybe you could stay in it a little longer. Maybe you need to get out of it a lot quicker. Maybe you don't even need to be in it at all, right? And
Yes.
knowing what your capacity is for and being real with yourself, about it. And maybe you can only hang with your party friends or so long, or maybe that one person that you've been talking to off and on for the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, you got to let them go, right? Because they're draining you and you can't fully function in all these other areas of stuff that you actually want to do.
Yeah.
So I love that you said that. How do you discern those different situations? What's good for you? What's not good for you? What are some of like your, I don't know, core principles or measurements that you kind of use to
Mm,
like, this
okay.
is worth it or not?
A consistent check-in with self. And then upon feeling things or feeling emotions, I try to sort those emotions as they come in. Like if I'm immediately irked, I try to, oh, I'm irked. Okay, shit. Why am I irked? What point of this is irking me? Am I taking offense to something I shouldn't be taking offense of? And if so, put that in the pocket of break that down later and then move on for this moment so we can get through this moment in a positive manner because leading with love and light or nothing at all. So
Mm-hmm.
before I treat you negatively, let me check in and see what's going on, why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling before I spew out some negativity and some grossness that I can't retract out of the universe. But
Yeah.
I can break that down before it comes out.
And energy is cyclical too, because a lot of times we think in our immature states, like I was saying before, oh, I'm gonna give you this because you did something to me, therefore you need to hear what I have to say.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with them.
But it has, or has nothing to do with you. It really, the reason that
Yeah.
they did this thing or whatever,
True,
sometimes
true, true.
they don't even got nothing. Now you done taken on this negative emotional state or standpoint,
Yes. That's
not
why I hate when
reckon.
people be like, you made me go there. Like, no,
Ah,
they didn't make you go there. You
can't.
willingly went there because you don't have the capacity to do anything else but go there. And you let that person put your energy into this check where you can't check yourself.
Right,
They didn't
right.
make you do anything. You willingly let this person into your spirit and disrupt you.
Yes.
So
And you
because you
have to
don't
be
have
so
control with you.
aware. Like you have to be aware of those things. You have to be aware of those triggers and words and things that people can say that, for lack of a better term, make you go there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are those things that flip on in you that.
Really, it just be people don't be feeling safe in that moment. I don't feel emotionally safe and I emotionally feel out of control within myself, but I don't feel safe in this space. Like no one can help me disrupt this emotion and no one can help me transmute this emotion. Like or I don't have the words to say how I'm feeling. So I have to crash out. Because physically I'm capable of crashing out, but emotionally or using my
Yeah.
words, I can't communicate. So
Hmm. Hmm.
picking my battles. This is the only arsenal I have to deal with the situation.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, not everybody can handle that way of coping. You know what I'm saying? Just to be in the audience of that, like I understand the emotion, but like at the same time, that energy is toxic. And I can't be around somebody who's that unaware of their self and their emotions and what they're needing to gain to be able to communicate and operate effectively. So
Self
like
self
it's a no
soothing.
for me. And it's not that you're a bad person, that you're a negative person, or that, I think badly of you. It's just that you're not yet operating in a space that I can operate in and be okay.
Yeah.
Because I've grown to the point of not operating in that.
And that's so crucial when we're building these relationships now in this, I don't know, next part of our lives, because I feel like, for me, these 30s, 40s are gonna be just a whole totally different vibe in life and different relationships and stuff. And it's so important, to understand those things that you're saying. Like, I can understand why you mad at that, sis. Maybe once upon a time, maybe if I were in it, I would be mad too. But at a certain point, you have to learn ways, methods, whatever's to manage that. You can't be breaking shit all the time.
True.
Like, we too old for that. And maybe sometimes you do break something. Maybe it is a one time you break it, but you're not finna tear up my whole living room, goddammit. You know what I'm saying?
And also
Mhm.
check your relationship. Like,
Yeah.
are you fighting for a relationship that's valuable to, like, what are you fighting for? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if I really love you, it's
Right.
not gonna escalate to this because ultimately I want to be in your life. So we have to fix this.
Period.
If I literally break everything in this bitch, we might not be able to fix this.
Hello? Like, but also here's the thing too that I want to say. When you are in relationships, it's not that what I'm trying to say, it's not that you're not finna get pissed.
Right.
There might be a moment I am enraged.
Yes.
But what I've learned personally, I take some ice out that freezer and I will throw that bitch in the shower. I'll throw it outside or whatever. If I feel like I
Okay.
need to break something,
However you need to get your
because
rage
you
out.
do sometimes need to get that energy out physically, right?
That's good because you're not putting it on the person, you're not putting it
Exactly.
on the person that you love.
Exactly. I'm not taking out on him or the other person in the relationship. I'm getting my anger out in a responsible way,
Why?
I
Because I
could
love
break
you. And I value
because
this
yes.
relationship at the end of the day. So I
Yes.
need to get this shit out and I do got to deal with this. But I don't want you to be hurt by it. And I want to be
Correct.
able to move on with you in the future. And
Yeah,
I
and
want today to be the day.
that's such a good perspective too. Like, because sometimes people may not reconcile those things. I can express my emotion and it not hurt you, right?
Yeah.
And but we do have to figure out how to do that, and that's a tricky line. That comes with communication, that comes with
That's
trial and error, resources, research. I don't know, I don't have the book down, but try that. Try throwing some ice, goddamn it. And
That's a good
when I
one.
was younger, I used to scream in my pillow. My dad told me to go scream in your pillow or something. I don't know. If I figure it out, I'll let y'all know.
Those are great physical releases
And it works wonderful.
that don't physically affect anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But communication is always the other side of that.
Yeah.
Like with anything, whether it's going to be physical, anything, y'all gonna have to talk about it because y'all come from two different perspectives, two different backgrounds, two different lives. You know what I'm saying? Two different interpretations. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody from New York telling you something might sound hard to the
Yeah.
chest. You know what I'm saying? And they're not. It's just
Right.
how they're used to talking. They're more aggressive speakers. You know what I'm saying? Like the words they
Son.
use, just dead ass. It doesn't mean they're not yelling at you. They're
Yeah.
just, matter of fact, that's how they talk.
Yeah.
So just, knowing who you're talking to, knowing how they communicate, knowing on the other side how you receive communication.
Listen.
Sometimes it just be the fuck you. You heard that. That's not what they said. They went in your ear.
You
You
heard
interpreted
that.
it. That's not what they said.
That is not
I
what
hear
they
that all
said.
the time to be watching Baddie. Like, so and so did something. Like, that's actually not what happened. So and so didn't say that. That's just what y'all heard. So
Right.
that's
And
why
that's
you
the
got
narrative
mad.
you finna run with.
You got mad because that's what you interpreted that as. That's not what she said, and that ass not what she meant.
Period. Listen, girl, I have enjoyed our time talking, and it's hard to believe it's almost time to go. But before we do, I want to make sure I talk about something. You mentioned at the top of the hour, you have a 5K coming up this weekend.
Oh yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. What inspires you to decide to run?
I'm actually not running the whole time. I'm gonna do some intervals where I am running just for time saving. But I don't know. I just want to do something. I've been feeling healthier, being healthier, and it's just a good like marker of where I am in my physical success.
Yeah, I love that for you. That's so cool. I will think about doing one.
It's fun. I promise it is.
It's funny because so I've been on this whole close my rings thing with my my watch, and I have to burn 1,000 calories a day. So sometimes at the end of the day, it'll be like 850 or 879. I'm like, bitch, I gotta close it, right? So I'll walk around the house literally. And the other day, I was like doing a light jog, just like in a circle. I was like, okay, this just tells me I could run. I'm just playing with myself, but I'm not ready to try that yet. I'm not ready to try that yet. Running's
Hey, but closing the rings, that's the start of it. Because once you
I'm
start,
closing the
you're
ring.
like, this is easy.
Period.
Closing the rings, no effort. Let me stretch my imagination. And you are an imaginary stretcher.
I am.
You
I am.
are.
I am.
Memorizing that speech is stretching of the imagination. Because why?
Yeah. About that. She's talking about a keynote I have coming up, y'all. So I haven't shared this on the podcast. I'm actually surprised, not surprised. I don't know. I'm about to start pursuing a career in public speaking. I want to get booked to come and speak, to come and host your events, to come and encourage your crowds, to MC your programs, whatever it may have you. And I'm taking a public speaking class. And at the end of the class, we do a keynote presentation. So it's a 15-minute speech that I am going to attempt to memorize. I have some points in it memorized to where I can kind of come off book and talk to the crowd, but there's a whole presentation and I got to click, slides and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I'll let you guys know how it goes, but I'm
She
excited.
gonna
It's
eat.
next
She gonna
week.
eat. She gonna eat.
maybe I'll put it up on the channel if I can get it recorded. So, we'll see. But thanks, Mish. How was this? Did you have fun?
I had such a good time. I really enjoyed this. It was like, like our usual chat, but like
Yeah.
recorded.
Well, we will definitely have to have you back on another episode. And y'all, if y'all didn't get anything out of this, please go back and listen. We kind of totally went off script. I only asked her like 2 questions that I had planned, but I loved it. That's the point of having your own podcast. You can talk about whatever you want. So, thank y'all for listening. We will see you back here next week on Let's Talk Sis. Bye.